Alright guys, what's going on? It's Phil here, and welcome to my WWE Backlash 2025 full show review. Right out the gate, I just want to say I enjoyed my time watching WWE Backlash. I thought this was a very solid show from top to bottom. Was it anything too groundbreaking? No, but at the end of the day, I truly do believe that we had a very solid in-ring showing from top to bottom, and WWE did a very good job with the pacing of the show and the overall finishes of these matches as well. It was a solid five match card. Everybody got their time to shine. And at the end of the day, even though I probably would have done the match order just a little bit differently, WWE did a very good job at the pacing of this card. Like I said, I probably would have done a little bit better with the match order, starting off with the Fatal 4-Way and then just having a bunch of singles matches. Definitely felt a little bit odd to me. I would have liked to see maybe a tag team championship match be thrown in there. But regardless, at the end of the day, that's just a little bit of nitpickiness. And at the end of the day, we're here to talk about WWE Backlash in this full show review. So with that being said, let's do it. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and turn on the bell for all notifications. That way you guys never miss another upload right here on the YouTube channel. It's going to be a very fun week for you guys on the YouTube channel. I got some stuff in the works, so stay tuned for all the great content coming your way. And yeah, let's help grow this channel to 500 subscribers, guys. I know we can do it. We are so close. Let's get that job done. But all right, let's get back to WWE Backlash 2025. Let's talk about the WWE United States Championship Fatal 4-Way that kicked off the night between the champion Jacob Fatu taking on the challengers of LA Knight, Damian Priest, and Drew McIntyre. This Fatal 4-Way was fun. This Fatal 4-Way was probably the best way to kick off Backlash because at the end of the day, we saw two feuds from WrestleMania fused into one when we had LA Knight defending the United States Championship back at WrestleMania against Jacob Fatu on one side of this 4-Way, and then you had the street fight element between Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest on the other side. And this was just a very fun Fatal 4-Way to have. I mean, when you have these four men for the United States Championship, you don't expect anything less, and this was just a very fun Fatal 4-Way to have. We even saw a sequence go down between all four of them when every single person hit their finisher, and at the end of the day, it looked like Damian Priest was about to get the championship when he just fell on Drew McIntyre, and it looked like he was about to win in a surprise way, just like we saw Ethan Page win the NXT Championship back at NXT Heatwave. So this was just a very, very fun Fatal 4-Way to have, and I overall very much loved what we got here. Now, when it comes down to the grand scheme of things, Jacob Fatu did retain the United States Championship in this Fatal 4-Way, but not on his own merit, as we did see, a debut of Jeff Cobb. Now, how did this all come about? I'll tell you. We saw Jacob Fatu laying on the announce table. LA Knight was about to hit that big elbow drop from the top rope through the announce table. Then all of a sudden we see Solo Sikoa make his presence known and get Jacob Fatu out of the way. Then, as soon as LA Knight was about to go after Solo Sikoa from what he just did, we saw the debut of the one and only Jeff Cobb out of nowhere as he clotheslined the hell out of LA Knight. And because of the attack of everything with Jeff Cobb and all of that, Jacob Fatu, he took advantage and he got the 1, 2, 3 and retained the United States Championship. Jacob Fatu did not look very much happy with Solo Sikoa and or Jeff Cobb for that matter. He wanted to win and retain the United States Championship under his own merits. That didn't happen. And that is how the finish ultimately went down. Now, when it comes down to the overall structure of this Fatal 4-Way, we did see a lot of one-on-one type action with this Fatal 4-Way. I don't mind Fatal 4-Ways like this, but at the end of the day, I truly do believe that if you're going to have a Fatal 4-Way or any type of multi-man type match, you should have everybody get into the mix with each other. I understand that Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest have their own issues, and they went even fighting into the crowd, and they even did a sick South of Heaven, spot through two tables in the crowd and everything like that. And I hope Drew McIntyre is okay because his head just completely missed the tables. But this was just a very, very well thought out Fatal 4-Way, very well done Fatal 4-Way. Jacob Fatu retains the United States Championship in a great showing. And now with the debut of Jeff Cobb in the mix, things are going to be very, very interesting to see where they go from here. How is Jacob Fatu going to feel about Jeff Cobb coming on in? Is Jeff Cobb basically the replacement of Jacob Fatu? We all know Jacob Fatu is basically going to get outed of the bloodline at this point now that we have Jeff Cobb into the mix. So things are definitely going to get spicy. We'll see where things go down the line. How'd you feel about this Fatal 4-Way? Let me know down below. But man, this was a very, very fun Fatal 4-Way to kick off Backlash, and I absolutely loved every single second of it. Up next, we had the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship on the line as Lyra Valkyria defended against the man, Becky Lynch. This match was fun. I absolutely loved each and every single thing about this match. This is easily the best Women's Intercontinental Championship match since the championship has been crafted, and I overall loved each and every single thing about this match. Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch absolutely put on a hell of a matchup between them, and this was just awesome to see because finally we did see a women's mid-card championship on a WWE PLE, and this definitely deserved the spotlight that it got. Say what you want about Becky Lynch. If you like her, that's great. If you don't, that's fine. But at the end of the day, Becky Lynch did her best job in terms of just getting Lyra Valkyria through this match and allowing Lyra Valkyria to really just showcase what she has in this ring. And WWE did a very good job at having Lyra Valkyria stand in the face of Becky Lynch and just really go toe to toe with one of the best women's professional wrestlers that WWE has really ever had within their women's division, especially within this era. The whole point of this feud, to me at least, was so that we can possibly see Lyra Valkyria step out of Becky Lynch's shadow, and that was absolutely done. I mean, come on. At the end of the day, we saw Lyra Valkyria step up on the microphone to Becky Lynch. We saw Lyra Valkyria have a hell of a match against Becky Lynch on a WWE PLE. And overall, we did see Lyra Valkyria retain the Intercontinental Championship in a match that honestly she was going in as the underdog for, because everybody and their mother fully believed that we were just going to be seeing a new Intercontinental Champion be crowned just based on the name value alone of Becky Lynch. And we didn't get that. Quite frankly, we had a very technical matchup between the two in Lyra and Becky. And honestly, just great job all around, because the Intercontinental Championship really hasn't been showcased all that great on WWE programming. But this feud really did its job and did its job well, because it got Lyra Valkyria out of her shell. It got Becky Lynch to really just in this kind of new state of this heel run that she's on. And it got the Intercontinental Championship for the women's division a very good spotlight. So overall, this feud done its job, regardless of however you may feel about how it all started and where it's all ending. But I don't even think it's over, because at the end of the day, we did see a roll-up type victory for Lyra Valkyria, and at the end of it all, we did see Becky Lynch put the boots to Lyra Valkyria after she realized that she got rolled up on. So this feud is definitely going to continue. And one other thing, we did not even see Bayley throughout this entire situation, who Becky Lynch took out of when it came down to the attack of WrestleMania and all that kind of jazz. So we didn't see Bayley, and Bayley's definitely going to have to get involved in this one way or another. So we're still going to be going through this whole thing between Lyra and Becky, and I'm fine with that. I fully do believe that at some point throughout the rest of this build, we will be seeing Bayley come back into the fold of the Women's Intercontinental Championship title picture. And at the end of the day, a triple threat could suit between all three of these women of Lyra, Becky, and Bayley for that IC title, especially if it's all going to be happening at the all women's pay-per-view Evolution. If that PLE is still going to be in effect, I absolutely would love that. I think that would be a great way to continue showcasing the Women's Intercontinental Championship. And quite frankly, if it's on a stage like Evolution, the second ever all women's PLE, that would just be a great spot to put all three of those women in, and especially the Women's Intercontinental Championship, to continue upping that prestige more and more. So overall, very well done match. Becky Lynch did the right thing, put Lyra Valkyria over, and we still have Lyra Valkyria as your Women's Intercontinental Champion. Great job, ladies. But now we have the Men's Intercontinental Championship on the line as the champion Dominik Mysterio defended against Penta. And I'll just say it right here out the gate. This was basically a Monday Night Raw match on a WWE PLE. I'm just going to be completely honest with you guys. At the end of the day, this really could have been on an episode of Monday Night Raw, and I personally would not have minded that whatsoever. Though this was a very good matchup between the two, the interferences of both the Judgment Day and honestly El Grande Americano, it just felt like a Monday Night Raw match to me, and that is okay, I guess, in a sense. Because let's face it, there was really no build to this Intercontinental Championship match whatsoever. I mean, we've seen all the interferences done before on an episode of Monday Night Raw whenever the Intercontinental Championship is on the line to begin with. I mean, we see Judgment Day interference, we see El Grande Americano. I mean, you really could have just put this on an episode of Monday Night Raw and nobody would have ever known the difference, especially with it being smack dab in the middle of the card when the rest of the 4 matches that happened on the show were just banger after banger. Shout out Sheamus. I didn't even mean to make that joke. That just happened organically. And, when it comes down to the actual spots of this match, very well done. I mean, we saw a suicide dive right into a DDT by Dom. Absolutely beautifully well done there. We even saw Dom hit an Oblivion out of nowhere, which is absolutely beautifully well done as well. It was funny as hell seeing Dom, of all people, hit the Oblivion. But shout out to Liv Morgan as she is in Japan, doing her movie and everything like that. Just shout out to her and what she is doing right now. But yeah, I mean, it was just a solid match for what it was. Nothing too groundbreaking. But Dominik Mysterio did retain the Intercontinental Championship against Penta, and we'll see where things go down the line. Possibly stuff with AJ Styles because he's gotten into the fold with the Intercontinental Championship over the course of the last few weeks with the Judgment Day. So we'll see where things go down the line for that. I mean, we even see Finn Balor wanting to get his hands on the Intercontinental Championship because he's looking very much at that Intercontinental Championship, even though Dom might not realize it at the time. So, I mean, we could definitely see stuff go down between those two, possibly for SummerSlam, but regardless of however you may feel about this match, very well done. And Dom, still your Intercontinental Champion. Absolutely the right call because we are just 3 weeks out from WrestleMania. I did not see Dom losing the championship anytime soon. Up next, let's talk about the match that honestly surprised a hell of a lot of people. Okay, it was Gunther taking on Pat McAfee. This wasn't a match. This was a fight. And at the end of the day, I hope people are eating their words when it comes down to the overall aspect of this matchup between Gunther and Pat McAfee because at the end of the day, whether you like Pat McAfee or whether you don't, he put on one hell of a contest with Gunther, who is easily one of the best professional wrestlers going today in the world of WWE. And I mean, man, this was just absolutely beautifully well done, and the story was very, very easy to tell. You have to give Pat McAfee credit where credit is due at the end of the day. I mean, we've seen Pat McAfee in the ring before. We've seen him in a match against Adam Cole. We've seen him step inside War Games. I mean, the man is absolutely, he can go in the ring. And that is what WWE showed you in this contest against Gunther. And I absolutely love that they did that in every single way. People wanted it to be a squash match, and I honestly am very glad that it wasn't, mainly because of the fact that if you're going to have Pat McAfee step up in the face of Gunther after everything that he did to Michael Cole, you better not have it be a squash match, all right? You better at least give Pat McAfee at least a little bit of a fighting chance, and that's what WWE did. Now, yes, it very much still was one-sided when it comes down to Gunther just playing with his opponent like he normally does, but this was very different in a sense of, Pat McAfee, not very much an in-ring competitor, but he is still going to give you every single thing that he has, and he'll make you respect him in any way that he possibly can just because he is in there fighting for Michael Cole's honor, and that's just what happened. I mean, you talk about somebody that was very much biased in terms of the commentary. I mean, Michael Cole, he even got up out of the commentary position and held Gunther's feet down as Pat McAfee was trying to go for a pin. And, I mean, Pat McAfee, he did not get the pin off of that. But regardless, I mean, Michael Cole was just trying to help out his buddy. But in the end, Pat McAfee lost this match. Michael Cole did not help his buddy get the victory because Pat McAfee, he did fall asleep in the sleeper hold. He did not tap out. He passed out. So there you go with that. And at the end of all of this, the post-match stuff, we saw Gunther give a little nod of respect to Pat at the end of all of this when Michael Cole and Pat McAfee were just sitting there in the middle of the ring. Pat McAfee, he was defeated, but at the end of the day, he gained Gunther's respect, and that is really what all of this was about at the end of the day. We'll move past this at the end of the day, and overall, Pat McAfee got the respect of Gunther, and that's really all this match was for at the end of the day. So, whether you liked it or whether you don't, give Pat McAfee his flowers because he performed very well in that match against Gunther, and we'll see where things go down the line for Gunther. What's next for him? Who knows? But like I said, we'll see where it all leads down the line. And now we have the main event, the undisputed WWE Championship on the line as John Cena defends against the hometown hero in Randy Orton. This match was very, very well done up until the very end. And man, I hate saying that when it comes down to these past two PLEs because at the end of the day, everything just goes right up until that very end. I mean, we saw R-Truth, of all people, be the one to just have John Cena retain the undisputed WWE Championship. It was deja vu all over again from WrestleMania. Now, people may think that I'm saying that in a bad tone, but at the end of the day, I don't think it was a bad way of doing this by any means because at least R-Truth is an actual professional wrestler instead of Travis Scott, who we got at WrestleMania 41 Night 2, and he did his best Undertaker impression. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I understand where things are going with this. I understand that R-Truth is, just trying to help his childhood hero in John Cena, but it was just a very odd way to go about this in every single way. And quite frankly, I don't even know where else to go with that. Okay, so I mean, we'll get there when we cross that bridge, but let's just talk about the overall match itself because the overall match was very well done and very well paced, especially with the limitations that we do have with John Cena at the late stages of his career. I mean, we even saw two great callbacks from past John Cena and Randy Orton matches. We saw the spot where we had the two shoulder tackles right into an RKO from their Hell in a Cell match back in 2014, and we even saw the AA reverse right into an RKO. Just a beautiful transition back from their 2009 60-minute Ironman match back at Bragging Rights. And man, this was just absolutely beautifully well done in every single way imaginable. I loved seeing those two callbacks. And to be honest, I mean, especially with my time of watching Randy Orton and John Cena, this quite possibly could have been one of the best matches that John Cena and Randy Orton have ever had with each other at this stage of both their entire careers. And I mean, I can't even believe I'm saying that, but I think that's really not all that, bad to say in a sense because of just how good this match was. I mean, at the end of the day, I know we were basically in the twilight zone of seeing John Cena work as a heel while Randy Orton was working as the babyface, but I mean, just the overall crowd element, just the atmosphere of it all, it was just very beautifully well done. And the spots in this match, even though with the shenanigans as well, with all the overbooking, this is just a very, very well thought out match. But I do want to talk about the ending of all of this because at the end of the day, we did see R-Truth be the reason as to why Randy Orton did lose the shot at the undisputed WWE Championship. And I'm not mad at everything that happened. I'm not, because honestly, it very much well made sense. But just having two PLEs end in that kind of fashion when Travis Scott was basically the reason as to why Cody Rhodes lost the championship to John to get number 17, and then seeing R-Truth be the reason as to why Cena retains the undisputed WWE championship. I mean, we can't keep going through this for each and every single PLE that John Cena defends the title against. And I quite possibly would have absolutely loved to see somebody like Cody Rhodes be the reason as to why Randy Orton lost his shot at the undisputed WWE title because of everything that happened at WrestleMania. I mean, I made an entire video about what kind of booking scenario I would have liked to see with Cody Rhodes coming back into the fold to wanting to get his hands on John Cena. Now, I'm not just mad at the fact that the booking that I had in my head didn't happen. It's just it just felt very odd to me seeing R-Truth of all people be the reason as to why John Cena retained. But I can't really say that this was a total waste, because if you guys caught the press conference after, we did see R-Truth come up to John Cena when John Cena was about to answer a question from Mona. Shout out to Mona. Absolutely love you. But you are kind of the reason as to why we saw R-Truth get attitude adjusted through an announce table. Not even really an announce table. The announce table didn't even break in that match. I mean, it broke, but it broke, and 3 seconds later, it forgot to sell, but then it automatically realized that it had to sell. Back to the press conference. I mean, R-Truth got attitude adjusted through the conference table, and yeah, Mona, I mean, you kind of are the reason as to why you saw somebody like R-Truth get attitude adjusted through that table, and maybe, just maybe, we're going to be seeing R-Truth versus John Cena at Saturday Night's main event in 3 weeks. Now, I get it. John Cena versus R-Truth for a Saturday Night's main event definitely feels like a very weird match to have for a Saturday Night's main event, especially for an appearance of John Cena when we only have so many numbers left. I mean, John Cena is counting down along with us as to how many appearances he has left, but it very much well could be the case, as we could see the undisputed WWE Championship on the line as John Cena defends against R-Truth. And man, what kind of world are we living in where that is a match for John Cena's retirement tour? It very much well could be the case, but honestly, us as fans, we really just have to leave it up to chance and just see where WWE goes from here. We only have so much time with John Cena left, okay? I mean, we got to really just take every single appearance that he has and just honestly just cherish him when we have him, because we only have John Cena for so much time. And at the end of the year, John Cena's done. And we're just going to have to really figure out where WWE is going with him and his championship reign moving forward. So we'll see where things go down the line, but I really want to hear your thoughts on that finish. Let me know your thoughts about that finish down in the comment section below. Are you pretty much like where I am, in a sense to where, you're not mad at everything that happened between R-Truth, Randy, and John Cena, but it's kind of like just a deja vu moment from what happened at WrestleMania 41. Even though it wasn't as bad as what happened at WrestleMania 41, it just leaves you feeling a little bit uneasy. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. But overall, WWE Backlash, very successful show from top to bottom. All the right decisions were made at the end of the day, even though there was a lot of just wackiness with that finish to the PLE. WWE did a very solid job with WWE Backlash, and the last 3 WWE Backlashes have been very, very well done and very entertaining. So overall, Backlash to me is still a thumbs up show after everything that's happened at WrestleMania, especially for this year when we only had 3 weeks of build. So very well done, WWE, for that. So this show, in terms of a rating for me, I'm going to give it about an 8 out of 10. Not many too surprises, but when you have this good of an in-ring performance from everybody involved, when we have a Jeff Cobb, debut, and just an R-Truth wacky finish to end the night, an 8 out of 10 is honestly a very good rating for this show, especially when we only had 3 weeks of build. So let me know your thoughts about Backlash down in the comment section below. If you guys like what you heard, make sure you guys, like I said, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. If you are new, turn on the bell for all notifications, and just stay tuned to the channel, man, because we're on the road to 500 subscribers. We're honestly just about to hit it. If you guys would just love to support your boy, I would love that. But guys, that's it for my Backlash 2025 review. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one. Stay safe. God bless. And peace.